Welcome back to Bon Voyage Cruise Travel, your go-to channel for all things cruise related. Get ready for an adventure like no other. Today we're setting sail on an epic journey, embarking on a 16-day transatlantic cruise with Royal Caribbean on the Explorer of the Seas. We're diving into delicious dining, thrilling parties, and all the behind-the-scenes details of life on board. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's wind back to where it all began, right here in Miami. I'm off on a transatlantic on Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas. It's a 14-day trip, and I'll be doing a back-to-back on another trip out of Rome, so it's exciting time. I can't wait to show you what embarkation day is like. So once I get to the airport, I am going to be meeting up with Royal Caribbean bus and taking a Fort Lauderdale to Miami bus. We chose flying into Fort Lauderdale. I just came back from a Princess cruise, but also the airfare was a little cheaper. But what I've noticed is the Ubers and taxis and shuttle services are all around $100 to go from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, but the Royal Caribbean bus is $29, so that's why I'm taking that. So we'll see how it goes. So let's check it out. I bought these plastic things on Amazon, and it's very helpful for your luggage tags. So you want to label your luggage, and that's generally on your cruise contract, or one of the last few pages. It'll give you your cabin number, and you just can put it in this, that way it won't get torn off. But make sure you label that, have your passport ready, check in on the app, and they will ask you to take your picture and some other things you need to do, and it will give you a time on when to show up. So let's go. They don't want you to show up any earlier, but because I'm going by bus, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm not sure if there's one or two buses or how long I'll have to wait. Requiring you to be vaccinated and to bring proof of vaccination. I'm not sure if you need to show it or not, because last cruise I didn't have to, but we'll see how that goes. I forgot my vaccination card at home, but luckily I have it on my phone from my doctor. It's like a QR code, so you might want to get that just in case you do something like I did, where I guess I lost it. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how that goes. For check-in, it's kind of semi-app and semi, they give you a whole booklet to look at to figure out your cruise contract and that type of thing. So it should be seamless and easy. I've never checked in to Miami, so we'll see how this goes. One of my tips to you is don't overpack. A car was blocking my van to the airport because they were trying to stuff so much luggage and so many people in one Uber. I guess if you have that many people, you should take 2 Ubers or pack less. Our journey today starts a little north of Miami at the Fort Lauderdale airport. There's a certain charm to beginning a cruise with a mini road trip, especially when we get to ride in the comfort of a cruise ship arranged bus. It's not just the destination, but the journey that counts. I got to the airport around 9, and it's not leaving till 11, so you have plenty of time if you have a morning flight. I guess they coordinate all the times for people that have different flights, and so we're all going to Miami. And my check-in was supposed to be 11:30, but I guess it'll just be a little late. But as we all know, embarking on a journey like this one isn't always smooth sailing. We've got a real, no-frills account of what happens on embarkation day, from boarding, our initial thoughts on the ship, to our first look at our room. We'll take you along as we navigate our way to the maitre d' for dinner reservations, join in on the spa raffle excitement, and let loose at the Sailaway party. But wait, there's more. We wrap up the day with a mouth-watering dinner at the Steakhouse and check out all the fun activities the ship has to offer. So come along as we uncover the unexpected, embrace the excitement, and make unforgettable memories on the open seas. This is quite an adventure, and it all starts right here, right now. We did have traffic within Miami, so our arrival to the ship was at 12:50, a little bit later than I had anticipated. Oh gosh. So even though the check-in was 11:30, it's not that busy up here, but it's a little hectic. Everyone's kind of arrived at the same time. So just a heads up, the people at the Miami cruise terminal, they're very particular about what you're bringing on. And I had a carry-on with my surge protector that is not a surge protector. It's a cruise approved thing I always use for my different plugs, you know, like the 6 things you can put in. And they took it and they said I can't have it back till I get to Rome, but I can contest it at guest services. So that was like kind of a surprise. I don't expect that. So it's kind of crazy here. It's a little different than most check-ins that I'm aware of. I normally would have just checked in my carry-on, but for some reason I decided to take it and I forgot that was inside. So do yourself a favor and put that in your big luggage, because it's perfectly fine to bring. It's cruise approved. I don't understand this, so I'll have to contest it. But anyway, so this is the check-in. We're on board. That was an easy check-in, not too bad after the security disaster. We have to go to our muster station. I had to take care of that right away, so it's G17. All right, so the boarding procedure was pretty easy. I think the biggest problem was the security, where they took my power strip, and I'm going to try to contest that. But as it stands, we did our muster station drill. You just check in, they scan your boarding pass. It's all electronic. You did not need to show any paperwork at all. They just asked if you had a COVID test, if you had a COVID vaccine and a booster, and do you have any symptoms, and that was it. We didn't have to show anything. And just coming on board, there was no one to even scan you on. It was all done inside at the terminal. So it was pretty easy, and we're going to check out our room next, and then from there check out our dining, and then from there maybe do the spa raffle. So that's the plan for now. Let's go. So I got my card and my coffee card.
Hello, welcome on board.
This is an interior cabin, and we'll see how this looks. This is it. So this is the hallway. 26 things of water. Okay, so this is the interior cabin. I tried to get an upgrade, I couldn't get one. It's a really full ship, and I booked this a long time ago. I couldn't even remember what I ordered, but it'll do. It'll be adequate. I'll be out and about. It doesn't matter to me that it's an interior room, but I have to say it's a little small, just on first impressions. Everything is pretty compact. The actual bed. So I am in my interior cabin. It is very small. I'm surprised. I think my Carnival Pride was a bit larger than this. I don't plan to be in my room much. I'm out and about usually anyway, but I have to say it is a little small. It's a little dated, but it's adequate. Sapphire dining room. We're checking out our table. The number 5 door was closed, so I've entered in on 4. Let's see what it looks like before I decide I need to change. So this is my table. It's very nice, but I wanted it for 2. Well, the lengthy line for the dining room change was, it took a bit of time, maybe about 45 minutes. And we requested a table for 2, but there's no guarantees. They have about 25 people on a list, and I'll know tomorrow by noon with a note under my door, so we'll see how that goes. But tonight we're going to the Steakhouse anyway, so it doesn't matter. And now we're on to the spa. Spa and fitness area. Heading to the spa raffle. Okay.
I'll introduce myself first. My name is Sophia. I am the spa manager on board, and you'll see a lot of me when you come to deck 12, okay? Because I'm always there.
Bye-bye for now. So we're off sailing away here from Miami, doing a sailaway party with your typical dances. There's a ton of ships here. Everybody's leaving at the same time. It's packed. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. This doesn't even look real, but it is.
Your presentation has officially started!
So I just attended the spa raffle. I didn't win. They give you a spa manager special massage for $149 for 75 minutes. That's actually $20 cheaper than Princess was the other week that I was on it. So that's a good deal. And also 20% off the seaweed massage, I think she said. But anyway, we're at a kind of a waiting for dinner time. It's so nice here at the solarium. There's not a lot of people hanging around yet. They're maybe eating because there's the 5:15 first sitting, and then the 8 o'clock is the late sitting. And I'm doing late sitting because last time I did the Transatlantic last year, we ended up eating, it seemed like earlier and earlier and earlier, to where the activities in the day kept getting cut off, because they would say, forget there's a 2 o'clock, and then you jump to 3 o'clock or something like that. So I didn't want to go through that again, so that's why I booked the 8 o'clock dining. But it was, it's been a really easy embarkation. I haven't unpacked yet. The ship doesn't have the Playmaker's bar that the Navigator has, and it seems like there's not a lot of beverages around except for the soda drink packages, so it's kind of hard to find. The buffet did close at 3:30 and reopens at 6 for dinner, so things like that, it's kind of hard to find something to drink unless you have a drink package. But other than that, it seems to be fine, so we'll keep exploring here. So they're doing a welcome party, and all those balloons are going to drop to the ground. I'll be at dinner at the Steakhouse, so I won't be able to see that. But there'll be other parties, but this is something they do on the first night. We purchased our chopped Steakhouse meal online with a 3-pack purchase, and it was at a discount. We really enjoyed this because the food is really good. We got to pick our own time about 7 o'clock, and I enjoy the salmon. My husband likes the steak, and it's just an excellent way to start the cruise. We really enjoyed it. It's been an incredible day packed with experiences that only scratch the surface of what cruising on the Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas is like. In the coming weeks, I'll be diving deeper into life on board this magnificent vessel, exploring the tantalizing dining experiences, entertainment and fun-filled activities, and of course the unique joys of the Transatlantic cruise. So make sure that you don't miss a single moment. I have a playlist up above. Stay tuned, because trust me, there's a whole ocean of adventure waiting to be discovered. So tonight we've had a wonderful dinner, walked around a bit. There weren't any shows tonight because I guess people are, it's a long, going to be 15-day cruise, and I think that they're just waiting till tomorrow to start all this, and they're taking it leisurely. But tomorrow I'll be getting up and doing some exercises. They have some different things. I've never seen a ballet, like a Pilates class, doing yoga, they do some Zumba, they're doing line dancing, those kinds of things. But right now, I think we're going to call it a night. Embarkation was a breeze, aside from the Miami traffic. Still waiting on my power strip report. An electrician is going to evaluate this and let me know. So wow, I received a knock on my door that night. I was in the bathroom just now washing my face, and I heard a knock at the door, but my husband was sleeping, and so here it is. And this was cruiser proof. I've always used this. I've used this at least 8 times in the last year. And it's not really an extension cord. It has a cord, but So they confiscated it, and they told me that it was a fire hazard, and I pressed the issue. I went to guest services and I said, I really need this for my computer and all the miscellaneous electronic things I have, because this is not an updated room with any kind of, there's one outlet for all the things I need to do with my computer and whatnot. So could you please just reconsider this or check it out? So I had to go to guest services twice. They had an electrician weigh in on it, and they're giving me it back to use. So don't, if something is taken from you that you feel is warranted to not be taken, and the security just got a little carried away, yeah, I got it back, so I get to use it. So yay for me, my little victory for the day. But anyway, it's been a good time. Thank you for watching. If you have found this valuable or helpful or informative, please make sure you give that a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and until next time. Keep exploring and keep creating wonderful memories.